Welcome back to the channel, everyone. How you doing? I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here. So this is a book review, a manga review actually, of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is going to be a very interesting kind of one because I read volumes 1 through volume 7. The arcs are really small in it, so I decided that's how I'm going to review it, just doing those volumes first. And then I'm going to try and do more of the arcs, because after that, the arcs get a little bigger, so then I can actually talk about them. In this one, the first 7 mangas, the first 7 volumes are very interesting to think about, honestly, when I was reading it. Because I watched the anime before I read the manga, but how season 2 ended, I was like, I have to read this. I have to figure out what's going on. So me being a cool goober, I decided I'm just going to read the whole series and then review it. But with this, so you start off with, in the prequel, you start off with Utah. And me, watching the movie first, I actually thought that was going to be the main character throughout the rest of the show. It wasn't actually, which really threw me off. You get to meet this character named Yuji, and then you are introduced. So you meet the main character, which is Yuji. He's a Gito, Jogo, Toto. You get to meet a lot of characters throughout this whole thing. How it starts off with is pretty simple, where most typical manga or shows usually is the first episode where it's just a crazy fight, and then that's kind of how the show goes from there. But this one starts where they introduce a artifact, and no one knows what it is, and then you find out it's the finger for Sukuna, who is literally one of my favorite characters. Who's probably my favorite character in this whole show. And you barely get to see Sukuna. But Sukuna finger is like, you start off with the beginning of the show where Sukuna's finger is found and Megumi is actually looking for it. And he meets Yuji, who actually had it, but Yuji then gave it to students of his like ghost hunting students thing, and they unwrap it and then they get attacked by curse spirits. And Yuji eventually eats the first finger, and then that's how it ends, and he becomes Sukuna. And Megumi doesn't even know who Sukuna is. And after that, you learn so much about this world. You learn about what these fingers mean, who Sukuna is, and you get to learn what curse energy is, curse spirits. I think this world is so unique, and it has style. I guess that's the coolest way to say it, is the characters throughout all this has style. I don't really think about like the first 7 volumes is an overarching story, and it really hypes up of the Shibuya arc, which is coming up, which I will be reviewing soon, because the rest of it, it's just like, it's slowly just like a mission there, a mission there, a mission there. That's kind of how Jujutsu Kaisen is right now in the first 7 arcs. Is there is moments that are really good, but most of it is just little missions where it's just like slowly building up to the Shibuya arc. And watching the Shibuya arc, it was really good, and I always forgot that the first part of Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of like, well, here's a volume of just a mission. Here's a volume of a mission. I kind of forgot about that. With this, it teaches you the world of Jujutsu sorcerers, and I just always thought it was just interesting. It reminds me a lot of Bleach, and doing research of this video before I did this video of Jujutsu Kaisen, just some facts about it, is apparently Jujutsu Kaisen was heavily inspired from Bleach, which, if you've seen Bleach or read Bleach and then you watch Jujutsu Kaisen or read Jujutsu Kaisen, it's so clear where the influence is from. And I think that's just really cool, because Bleach is one of my all-time favorite anime, and I'm actually getting a tattoo right here, and I cannot wait. That's going to be done in October, so in the future you guys are going to see a tattoo on my arm. I like seeing the influences of Bleach, and I think what Jujutsu Kaisen does is there's certain elements of JJK compared to like Bleach, for example, that I think JJK just does. I think Bleach's worst part is it drags out things. JJK does not. It's so fast paced, and you just breeze through the manga so fast. Like, to me, I just couldn't stop reading it because it was just like boom, 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 boom. And every single time, it's like you would talk, like they would do some talking and they figure out some plans, and then boom, they're just throwing hands. It just doesn't matter, and I really enjoy that element with this part. And of course, you get to meet Toto eventually, who's low-key one of my favorite characters. Toto's just so awesome. He always asks like a lot of the dudes like, what do they see in women? He meets like Megumi, and he asks Megumi what he sees in women. What's his favorite part about a woman? And Megumi says, I don't really care about her appearance, it's more about her personality. And everyone's like, oh, that's really sweet. But Toto like made fun of him and just started beating the crap out of him, which is just hilarious. I just really liked this manga a lot. It's a really fun manga. I actually want to get a Sukuna tattoo eventually. It's just gonna be so much fun. I really like JJK. I think it's a really fun anime and manga to get into. I just was trying to figure out how I'm approaching this overarching thing, but it's more just talking about my thoughts of the first 7 volumes. Because, like I said, there's not an arc, really. Like, there is, but there's just smaller arcs. But it's just easier just to talk about my thoughts of the artwork, the style, and all that, of how it is first. And then I'm going to start talking about the arcs in future videos. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. And, of course, let me know what you guys think about JJK. Did you guys like it? Or do you guys think it's become one of those anime that's becoming overhyped? I personally don't think it's becoming overhyped. I think it's right where it's at. The sweet spot. It's not on the levels of like My Hero. I think My Hero is just extremely overhyped. But that's for a different kind of video. Maybe I'll make a video about overhyped animes or manga in the future. That'd be actually a lot of fun. But, of course, make sure you guys stay safe, stay humble, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay weird.